Magandang araw, Sir Wilbur po, at your service. Narito ang itulay upang gabayan ka sa inyong pag-aaral upang lubos na maunawaan ang iba't ibang paksa o subject. Ang itulay ay isang free online tutorial class na pinangungunahan ng ICTS Educational Technology Unit sa pamumuno ni Undersecretary Elaine Del B. Pascua. Ang programang ito ay hindi lamang para sa mga bata, kundi ito rin ay magsisilbing gabay sa mga magulang at mga guro kung paano nila ituturo o gagabayan sa bawat asignatura ang kanilang mga anak o mga estudyante. Sa kasalukuyan, ang self-learning module mula sa rehiyon ng Calabarzon at kilala sa tawag na Pivot ang ginagamit sa ating itulay online class. Kaya ano pang hinihintay ninyo? Ihanda na ang inyong mga ballpen o lapis, papel o kwaderno at samahan kaming itulay ang pagkatuto para sa bawat batang Pilipino. Sama-sama tayong magtutulungan para malampasan ang mga hamon sa panahong ito. Halina't matuto kasama ang inyong online tutor sa oras na ito.
Magandang hapon po sa lahat, lalong-lalo na po sa ating mga senior high school learners and parents who are watching our live stream of our Itulay online tutorial. And also, I would like to greet din po ang lahat ng mga research teachers na nanonood po ngayong hapon. Magandang hapon po sa inyo. Alright? At magandang hapon din po sa lahat ng ating online viewers. Hello po and welcome to our Itulay tutorial session. We have Ma'am Beng V. Magandang buhay. Magandang buhay, Ma'am. We have Stacy, Angela, Layos, Kayla Muril, April, Isa May, John Joven, Jay, Prizel Joy, and a lot more. Welcome po lahat sa ating online tutorial session ngayong hapon. Ako po si Tutor June at muli samahan niyo ako class as we learn very important topics for inquiries, investigations, and immersion. At dahil tapos na po tayo sa ating fourth quarter coverage, magkakaroon din po tayo mamaya ng pagbibigay-pugay o recognition sa ating 3I's fourth quarter awardee. Alright? Muli, isang mainit na pagbati po sa ating mga senior high school tutees dahil nalampasan po natin ang mga learning tasks sa fourth quarter sa 3I's. At dahil tapos na tayo sa ating fourth quarter discussion, magkakaroon tayo ngayon, class, ng review sa mga paksa na ating tinalakay sa fourth quarter. At next week din po, inaasahan ko na makakapresent kayo ng inyong complete written research report para sa ating culminating activity sa subject na ito. Kaya ba? Kaya yan. Alright. Sige. Let me read first the other comments in our live streams comment section. We have Russell Soltura, Master Teacher 2, Research Teacher from DepEd Quezon. Magandang hapon po, Sir Russell. Alright. And we have students, Nisha, Ronald Jo, Charlie, Princess, Julie, Marlene, Jane Wency, CJ, Lorenzo, Rosemary, and Kim. Alright? Mag-umpisa na tayo sa ating review session ngayong hapon. Yung ibang mga research teachers, I know, nakapagbigay na kayo ng inyong pagsusulit o summative exam sa fourth quarter. Or yung iba ay magbibigay pa lang ngayong week or sa susunod na week. Alright, so this will be a sort of a review para sa ating mga tutees sa research or sa 3I's, inquiries, investigation, at immersion. Alright, so Sige? So you are going to answer the questions that follow by choosing the letter of the correct answer. The letter of the correct answer. So you are going to write the letter of the correct answer in our comment section. Okay, multiple choice po tayo for part 1. Okay, ready na ba ang lahat? Are you ready, class? Okay. Okay, do not forget, class, to indicate the item, item that you are going to answer. So if, for example, if it's number 1, so you write number 1. So this will be 50 items, lahat. Okay? So I hope na makakasagot tayo, makapagbibigay tayo ng tamang sagot sa mga tanong, okay, sa ating review session. Good afternoon, Marnie Labrador, research teacher from Kamsur Division. Magandang hapon po, Ma'am Labrador. All right, let's start. Let's start with our question number 1. Right? When do you use a t-value instead of a z-value? Is it letter A, when n or the sample size is less than 30? B, when n or sample size is greater than or equal to 30? Letter C, when p-value is greater than alpha? Letter D, when t computed is greater than t statistic or test statistic. All right? Let me read your answers in our comment section. We have, okay, Jane Wency, Princess, Andrea, Lorenzo, Jean Kenneth, Julie, Janver, Fatima, Hazel, and a lot more answered letter A. And that is correct. The answer is letter A. Good job. Okay. So again, we use t-test. Okay. So recall, class, we use t-test when the number of samples in our research study is less than 30. So the value obtained is, of course, called as t-value or t-computed. Okay. On the other hand, we use z-test when the number of samples in our study is equal to or greater than 30. Alright? So, lahat ng sagot ay tama. Very good. Let us proceed. Question number 2. What is the p-value when a result of a hypothesis test in a correlational research is significant? A, equal to 0.05. B, greater than or equal to 0.05. C, less than 0.05. D, less than or equal to 0.05. Let me check your answers for number 2. Again, what is the p-value when a result of a hypothesis test in a correlational research is significant? Okay. Kim answered letter A. Jane, Andrea, Samantha answered A. Jane Wency answered C. Stacy answered letter D. Okay. So iba-iba po yung sagot natin. Alright. Sino kaya ang tama or ano kaya ang tamang sagot? Okay. We use so in order for us to say that the result is significant, dapat the p-value, when we use the p-value method or the probability value method, so dapat it must be less than or equal to 0.05. Although pwede ding equal to 0.05, equal to 0.05 or less than 0.05. Pero since we have less than or equal to 0.05, so the best answer is letter D. Right? So Beatrice answered letter D. Lizabel also answered letter D. Tama. Right? So again, okay, one method for us to determine if the result in a statistical test is significant is the use of the p-value method or the probability value method. And using this method, we have discussed that if the p-value is less than or equal to the level of significance alpha, okay, wherein in educational research, the commonly used level of significance is 5% or 0.05. So if the p-value is less than or equal to 0.05, then we reject the null hypothesis. It means that the difference or the relationship is significant. However, if the p-value is greater than 0.05 or any level of significance, okay, then we do not reject the null hypothesis, which means that the difference or the relationship is not significant. All right. Let's proceed to our question number 3. What is data collection? Is it letter A, collecting the research question and objectives together? B, gathering data which helps you address your research question or research questions? Letter C, reviewing the related literature or studies? And letter D, outlining how you will gather the information for your research question. Okay, please write your answers in our comment section. Jean Kenneth, Charlie, Isa May, Jane, Wency, Maria Gloria, and a lot more answered letter B. And that is correct. Okay, data collection is actually gathering of your data, of the needed data, which helps you address your research question or your research questions. All right, very good. Next, question number 4. What type of validity does the IQ test possess if it is free from grammatical and typographical errors? Is it letter A, concurrent, B, face, C, content, D, construct? Again, what type of validity does the IQ test possess if it is free from grammatical and typographical errors? Jean, Andrea, Maria Gloria, Isa May, Fatima, Samantha, Jane Wency, Amarijoy, all answered letter B, face validity. Tama po ba? You are correct. Okay, good job. Okay, so one type of validity class that will fall under content validity is the face validity, which focuses on evaluating the physical aspect of the instrument. Like for example, if the given instrument follows the, let's say, prescribed format set by your school or the format set by a given institution, and when the instrument has face validity, dapat ma-check din yung typos or typographical errors or grammatical errors of the instrument. Or for example, if you are making a website or a web page, so dapat ma-check yung mga features ng web page if it follows the standard features. So aside from being content valid, importante din po na dapat face valid din po ang ating mga instruments or research instruments. All right? Let's have number 5. Number 5, it relates to the extent to which the instrument is consistent? Is it letter A, validity, B, reliability, C, consistency, D, replicability? Okay? Again, number 5, it relates to the extent to which the instrument is consistent. Okay, there is consistency of the results. Okay, so we have number 5, Jean Kenneth, Jane Wency, Fatima Charlie, Princess Isa May, Hazel Ann, Julianne, Andrea, and a lot more answered letter B, reliability. That is correct. Right? So again, reliability refers to the consistency of the results. Okay. So for example, when the instrument is administered several times to the respondents or to your respondents, it must yield similar or consistent results for it to be reliable. Okay. Sige. So tama po. Si Mary Joren, Samantha, Jenalyn, Lori, Jay Isidto, and Judea. Huge Butch answered letter C. So parang nalito po si Huge Butch, no? Oo. So, yes, it refers to consistency, but we are talking about the, okay, yung reliability at validity ng tests. Okay. So again, reliability refers to the consistency of results. Number 6, a section of the research paper which refers to the suggested actions of the author or authors to further expound or improve the study. Is it letter A, introduction, B, discussion, C, conclusion, D, recommendation? Again, number 6, a section of the research paper which refers to the suggested actions of the author or authors to further expound or improve the study. Andrea answered D. Jean, Kenneth, Jane Wency, Isa May, Kyla, Amarijoy, Julianne, and a lot more answered letter D. Very good. You are all correct. The answer is recommendation. Okay. So the recommendation section of the research paper refers to the suggested actions. So ano yung mga suggested actions ng researcher to further expound or improve the study, or ano yung mga specific procedures na makakatulong para marisolba yung mga issues or limitations po ng study. All right? So let's proceed to number 7. This is also known as first-hand data, which means that the data were collected directly from the source and are the original data. Is it A, primary data, B, secondary data, C, tertiary data, D, ambiguous data? All right, so again, this is also known as first-hand data, which means that the data were collected directly from the source, and it is also known as the original data. Of course, the answer is letter A. Very easy. Okay, that is, okay, primary data. So ano yung mga halimbawa ng mga primary data class? For example, yung data taken from the interview transcripts if you are conducting an interview. So yung data na makukuha natin sa interview transcripts or yung mga historical documents, okay, these are examples of primary data sources. All right? Let's proceed to question number 8. Research has proven that the best achievement test in the Philippines has poor internal consistency. What does that mean? Letter A. The different versions of the test do not produce the same responses. B. The test items do not repeatedly measure what they say they measure. Letter C. The test, when split in half and compared, does not produce the same results. Or letter D, the test does not produce the same results across time. Okay? Andrea answered letter B, while Princess answered letter A, Jean Kenneth, Stacy, Maria Gloria answered letter C. So iba-iba po yung sagot. Okay? Janalyn answered letter A. So, what do you mean by internal consistency, class? Okay, so take note, no? When we say internal consistency or internal consistency reliability, it refers to how well the items in two instruments measure the same construct, or it is also referred to as split half reliability. So, from the term itself, split half reliability. So, when you say split half reliability, if the test or instrument, when split and half, for example, 50-50, kinuha yung upper group at saka lower group ng scores, for example, and then compared the scores, okay, will produce the same results. Then, you can say that the items in the test are internally consistent. So, therefore, when we say that when an achievement test has poor internal consistency, it means that when the test, when split in half and compared, does not produce the same results. Meaning, poor po yung internal consistency ng items. Alright? So, very good for those who are able to correctly answer question number 8. Okay? Number 9. Let's proceed to number 9. If the content of a test looks as though it is measuring what it is supposed to, it is said to have high, letter A, content validity, B, phase validity, C, criterion validity, D, predictive validity. Right? Again, if the content of the test looks as though it is measuring what it's supposed to, or what it is supposed to, it is said to have high, letter, okay, the answer is, okay, we have, Judea answered letter B, phase validity. Stacy answered A, content. Jean Kenneth also answered letter A. Nympha also answered letter A. A lot of our participants or viewers answered letter A, and that is correct. Okay. Content validity. Again, when you say content validity, it is the extent to which the content or topic of the test is truly representative of the content of the, let's say, instrument or of the course. Or for example, if you want to measure a particular variable, so dapat yung instrument will measure the variable that you want to measure, no, in your study. So when you say an instrument is content valid when it measures what it's supposed to measure. So yan yung ibig sabihin ng content validity. Kaya nga, meron tayong mga content experts na nag-check sa content validity ng instrument natin. And it is recommended na we should have at least 3 content experts na titingin, no, sa content ng ating instrument. If meron yung content ba or yung items ba ng instrument na cover ba lahat na dapat ma-cover para ma-measure yung variable na dapat i-measure sa study ninyo. All right? Let us proceed to question number 10. Question number 10. It is a measure used to assess the reliability or internal consistency of a set of scale or test items. It is a function of the number of items in a test, the average covariance between pairs of items, and the variance of the total score. A, Cronbach's alpha. B, phi coefficient. C, Kuder-Richardson. D, split half. Again, it is a measure used to assess the reliability or internal consistency of a set of scale or test items. So, ano ba yung commonly used na statistic kapag tinitingnan natin yung internal consistency ng instrument. Okay. Na-discuss po natin yan, di ba? Okay, the commonly used statistic for this is letter A, Cronbach's alpha or Cronbach's coefficient alpha. Okay? This is developed by Lee Cronbach. Okay. So again, Cronbach's alpha is referred to as the indicator of consistency. So when you have a 0 Cronbach's coefficient, it means that there is no consistency of the results. When you have a coefficient or a Cronbach's alpha coefficient of 1, it means that there is a perfect consistency. All right. Next, number 11. Number 11, the process of assigning numerals or other symbols to answers so that responses can be put into a limited number of categories. Is it letter A, observation, B, survey, C, coding, D, instrument development? Again, the process of assigning numerals or other symbols to answers or to our, let's say, to the data or the data that we have gathered so that responses can be put into a limited number of categories. Okay. Let me check your answers. 11. Majority answered letter C. Okay, of course, that is letter C, coding. Okay. So, when you say assigning numerals or symbols, it is actually coding. So, ang purpose po na nagko-code tayo sa research is para hindi po mahirap ma-analyze natin yung mga gamit yung mga statistical softwares like SPSS. So, for example, hindi na masyadong mahaba yung data natin or yung phrases ng data natin. For example, if it is taken from an interview transcript, no? So, yung gagawin natin, i-code natin sila, o yung mga data or responses natin, tapos if may results na, doon na tayo, binabalikan natin yung mga codes natin. Ano bang ibig sabihin ng mga codes para ma-interpret natin yung mga codes? Alright? Let us proceed to question number 12. What is the type of correlation coefficient to be used in a test-retest given that the data are both interval or ratio? Is it A, Cronbach's alpha, B, Phi coefficient, C, Pearson R, D, Spearman's rho? Okay? Again, what is the type of correlation coefficient to be used in a test-retest para this is a form of reliability test, yung test-retest, kapag nag-administer ka ng test ngayon, at saka after a week, nag-administer ka din ng same test to the same group of, let's say, pilot group, no? That is actually test-retest. So, anong gagamitin natin na correlation coefficient or reliability coefficient kapag yung data is interval or ratio? Okay. So lahat sumagot ng letter C. Very good. The correct answer is letter C, Pearson R. This is also referred or known as Pearson product moment correlation, developed by, of course, Carl Pearson. Okay. So again, this is the most commonly used correlation coefficient to analyze the relationship of variables containing either interval or ratio data. So anong ibig sabihin when you say interval data or ratio data? Okay, these are, for example, if you are dealing with scores in a test or the academic performance, no, of your respondents in the form of grades. So these are actually ratio data. Scores in a test is an interval data. Okay. Number 13. It is not part of the body of the report itself. It is a basic summary of the report contents, including sample, treatment, design, results and implications. Letter A, abstract. B, review of literature. C, conceptual framework. D, acknowledgement. Again, it is not part of the body of the report itself. It is a basic summary of the report contents, including sample, treatment, design, results, and implications. Of course, the correct answer is letter. Okay, so we have, all answers letter A, no? We have, starting from Jane Wency up to Amari Joy. Okay? Lahat sumagot ng letter A. And that is correct. The answer is abstract. Okay? So, again, abstract, in other words, nagdi-discuss yung nagbibigay ng information yung abstract sa research topic or research objectives natin, at saka sa methods na ginamit natin sa research, at saka yung mga final results of our research paper or the findings sa ating study. Okay? Number 14. If a measure is consistent over multiple occasions, it has blank reliability. A, test-retest. B, equivalent forms. C, internal consistency. D, inter-rater. Okay, again, number 14. If a measure is consistent over multiple occasions, it has blank reliability. A, test-retest. B, equivalent forms. C, internal consistency. D, inter-rater. Okay. So, we have answers. Starting from Kyla Muriel, answered letter A. Up to John Ver, also answered letter A. And a lot of our students in our live stream answered letter A, and that is correct. That is test-retest reliability. So when you say test-retest, nag-administer ka ng test ngayon sa itong group na students or yung pilot group mo. Okay, let's say five members of the pilot group, nag-administer ka ng instrument mo, tapos after 3 days or after a week, inulit mo naman yung nag-administer ka na naman ng, or nag-administer ka again ng another test, same test, okay, to this group, 5 members of your pilot group. Okay, so that is actually test-retest. Okay. Malapit na po yung oras natin. So, let's have number 15 as our last item. Tapos, siguro sa susunod na session, i-continue po natin yung review session natin. Alright? So, we have number 15. This is an interpretation of results in light of the research objectives. Letter A, discussion. B, introduction. C, results. D, recommendation. Again, this is an interpretation of results in light of the research objectives. A, discussion. B, introduction. C, results. D, recommendation. Okay, we have for number 15, Princess answered letter A, Stacy also answered letter A, and that is correct. Okay, we have letter A. Okay, when we say interpretation of results, okay, para masagutan natin yung mga research objectives or mga tanong, no, na ating inilalagay sa ating statement of the problem. Okay? So dapat yung pagkakasunod ng ating research questions sa statement of the problem, yan din yung pagkakasunod ng interpretation natin, no, sa ating discussion of results. Okay? Kung ilan or kung ilan yung research objectives mo, let's say 4, so dapat meron ka ding 4 na interpretation or discussion of results. Okay. So the correct answer is letter A, discussion. All right? So, i-flash ko lang yung mga items natin. Pero babalikan natin yan sa susunod na week or session natin. Okay? And then hopefully, manonood po tayo sa ating mga susunod na sessions dahil meron pong mga students, okay, grade 12 students, okay, na magpipresent po ng kanilang sample research study. Okay? Alright? So, we have here, presenting to you our Itulay Online Tutorial Awardee. So, hindi hiling ko po ang inyong mainit na pagbati sa ating 3 Eyes 4th Quarter Awardee. So, we have si Maria Gloria Gallo, a grade 12 student ng Ormoc City Senior High School, Region 8. Okay, na nakakuha ng pinakamataas na marka sa 3 Eyes 4th Quarter Summative Examination, 49 out of 50 items. Okay, so para kay Maria Gloria, sa pamamagitan ng Itulay, marami akong mga bagong kaalamang natutunan kaugnay sa asignaturang research. Ito ang dahilan kung bakit nakakuha ako ng mataas na marka sa pagsusulit sapagkat natatalakay dito ang mga mahalagang paksa na kailangan kong matutunan at maunawaan sa asignatura. Bukod dito, maari ko ring mapanood muli ang mga talakayan upang mas lubos ko pang maintindihan ang mga aralin. Alright, so maraming salamat Maria Gloria sa iyong palaging pagsubaybay sa ating Itulay sessions. Hangad po namin sa Itulay na matupad mo ang iyong pangarap sa buhay. Again, congratulations. Alright, so sa mga hindi po makapanood ng ating weekly live tutorial sessions, you may follow me sa aking Wakelet account na nakalagay sa inyong mga screens or pwede ding scan ang QR code na nasa inyong mga screens. Ang ating recorded videos ng Itulay tutorial sessions in inquiries, investigations, and immersion are compiled in our Wakelet account. At yan po ang ating online tutorial sa linggong ito. See you po in our next tutorial session, same time, same day. This has been your Itulay tutor, Sir June, na nag-iiwan ng katagang, the research of today shall speak the innovations of tomorrow. Thank you and happy researching!
Sigurado ako na marami ka na namang natutuhan sa ating Itulay tutorial session ngayong araw. Tandaan, ito ay hindi lamang para sa ating mga mag-aaral, kundi pati rin sa ating mga minamahal na guro at mga magulang na kaagapay natin para maituloy ang pagkatuto sa kabila ng nararanasang pandemya. Patuloy ding sumubaybay sa DepEd TV para sa mga araling ginawang video episodes. Mapapanood ito mula Lunes hanggang Sabado, alas 7 ng umaga hanggang alas 7 ng gabi sa inyong mga telebisyon. Abangan sa Lunes mula 1:00 ng tanghali ang iba pang aralin sa ating Itulay free online tutorial session sa Science. I-like and subscribe at manatiling nakasubaybay sa ating Itulay tutorial session sa DepEd EdTech Unit FB page at Educational Technology Unit channel sa YouTube at sa DepEd Tayo at DepEd Philippines social media accounts. Paalam!